Yeah, welcome to Aspire Ranch. And like any good horse farm, bitter weather doesn't matter, holidays don't matter, weekends don't matter. Still got to take care of the kids. And today we got it all. Negative temperatures, wind, it's Sunday, and happy Christmas cookie to everybody. Bella's right here. She's looking beautiful as usual. Kind of a funny story. I was out here taking a video this morning during the morning chores, but it was so cold, my battery went from 75% down to 2% in about 15 minutes. So I got some video. It was all crap, of course, because I only had one cup of coffee. So I'm going to reshoot it all in about 20-second or 30-second segments, putting the phone back in my heated pocket to hopefully keep it from dying. Our Christmas is off to a great start. My son makes handmade fly rods. Pesca Vida is the name of his little company. And he sent rods to both Kristen and myself. Nice 10-foot, 3/4 weights. Beautiful rods. So we're chomping at the bit, waiting for spring to come along so we can go out fishing again. Yesterday we were watching some old Christmas specials. Take a look at Rudolph again, and I noticed this years ago. Not exactly the kind of thing that teaches good values right off the bat. First off, I think Mrs. C was about ready to smack the crap out of Mr. C a good number of times. Probably especially if she were there when he told Donner, "Oh, you should be ashamed." Even though Rudy had the absolute best takeoff, there they are making fun of, Donner's little kid because he's got a birth defect. That's terrible. Right, Cactus? Cactus thinks so. Kind of off the Christmas subject, I am really happy this year with the kids' situation in the barn. Now, Cactus and Lucy here, they've had their indoor stall for the first 3 years I've been here, so this is their third winter in here. And they spent a lot of time in here. But I did add, not that they need it, I added in some heat lamps. They don't have to go under them, but it gives me a little bit of peace of mind that, if they get really cold, like their heads, they could stick their heads under there. We're on, I think, a little over a week of negative single-digit temperatures, so it buys me a little peace of mind knowing that these guys can warm up if they need to. And of course, I make sure their stall is about as close to knee-deep in sawdust as possible, so they got a good place to lay around. And I am especially happy with the big kids shelter here inside the barn. This has been great for them. They got plenty of room. I did also put in heat lamps there. They don't do a thing for keeping this place warm, but if their heads get cold, they could always lift their heads underneath the lamps, which are pretty high up. Even Gus would have to reach, but gives them a little bit of a warm spot. Especially after an extended cold like we're having here, and I think most of the country, northern part of the country, is in a pretty bad winter storm, really. We've had heavy wind, heavy snow, negative singles, and I think it's been that way for most of the country. So, oh, hi, Digger. Yeah, it's a hat. You can't eat it. So while I'm out here, I'm going to go ahead and top off their hay again. I loaded them up this morning, but these kids are eating right through it. Cold weather like this, horses stay warm by, just eating. Little bits at a time, really, but fairly constantly. This is funny, really. So I'm going to top off their hay, and just so they can keep eating throughout the day, and I'll come back this evening for the evening chores and top it off again, and also make sure they got plenty of water. It's really quite the spread these guys have in here. I mean, it's pretty big. And, we still got way more behind me even. And we've had actually 2 people ask, kind of jokingly, but I kind of wonder, if they could live here as well. Kristen's friend said, wow, I'd like to live here. And a friend of mine, Mike, at work, he's like, so how much are you charging rent? So we did a good job in here. And man, this place really buys us a good amount of peace of mind. Nice thing is, in the summertime, for some reason, and I don't understand why, we don't get a lot of flies in the barn. So with any luck, that'll persist, and these kids will have a spot to come in the summertime to get away from the flies. So what I have in my hand here looks a lot like a lump of coal, and certainly seems hard as a rock. In the biz, this is what we call a poopsicle. And the horses make plenty of them. It's too bad it's not coal, because man, I could probably retire 17 times over with the amount of poopsicles we get out of this place in a week. And since it is Christmas and all, I wanted to give the kids a little bit of a treat. Equine Christmas cookies. They love them. And you might be wondering, hey Adam, how do you stay warm when it's like -6? Well, who said I was warm? Actually, I am fairly toasty. Kristen, the first year we were out here, got me this pretty awesome jacket. It's heated, although I haven't really used the heating option much. It retains all my body heat just fine. So, but it is flipping cold, so I'm going to cut this a little short. Happy holidays, everybody. Don't really care which holiday you're celebrating. I hope you're hanging out with friends, family. If you are by yourself, I've done that for decades, and you can find ways to enjoy the holidays even if you are alone. So stay safe. I hope everybody's happy.